Hi guys, welcome back to Reserved Investments on YouTube. So I want to talk a little bit about insider trading or insider knowledge in the antiques and collectibles trade. And this actually came from an acquaintance of mine in the antiques and collectibles trade that we were having a discussion about, and I thought this would be a good topic for a video. Now, you got to understand, insider trading isn't always unethical, it's not always bad when we apply it to the antiques and collectibles trade. That said, if you utilize insider trading and insider knowledge to your benefit through the financial markets, more specifically the stock market as a whole, then you can get in trouble with the Securities and Exchange Commission. You can be fined, you can be jailed, and you can face strict penalties. Let me give you a prime example. Let's say that you're looking to buy a pharmaceutical stock of a certain drug company that has a new drug in the pipeline that's going to treat Alzheimer's disease. Well, you learn through somebody who is on the research team for that particular drug that it's going to cure Alzheimer's disease, and it's going to become a prominent medication for the treatment of that disease going forward. Well, if you have information like that, and you go out and you buy the stock of that particular company, and the stock goes up as a result of that announcement, and you profit from that, that's an example of insider trading. So if you would ever do something like that in the financial markets, not only is it unethical because you had insider knowledge, it's also considered highly illegal, punishable by fines, penalties, and jail time, and you're going to make some new friends in the form of the Securities and Exchange Commission that you otherwise don't want to meet. Now, let's apply a similar example to what happens in the antiques and collectibles trade, and I'm going to use an example that happened to me all the way back in 2012. So pretty much this video is being recorded in November 2019. We're going back literally almost 8 years to talk about this particular topic. Now, you have to understand, back in 2012, I was still learning the coin and currency collecting markets. I was not as well versed in those markets as I am today. However, I had a lot of connections at that time in regards to dealers, collectors, quote-unquote investors in those markets that kind of helped me navigate that particular collecting category, because you got to remember, the coins and currency market as a whole is one of the more sophisticated collecting markets on the scene. There's not a lot of speculators in that market because you really have to understand what you're doing. For instance, and I said this in another video, you can have two coins completely identical that are graded by the same graded company, same mint mark, same year, same type of coin, and one coin can sell for $1,000, and that other coin that's graded the same can sell for $1,500 or $2,000. It just depends on how the market values the quality of that particular coin via eye peel and or overall appearance. So you kind of have to understand that the coin market is quite different than the video game marketplace or Magic the Gathering marketplace or the Pokemon marketplace. It's a little bit more nuanced in regards, there's a lot of idiosyncrasies that govern that particular collecting market. Well, back in 2012, I had more time than I have right now. So I would attend a lot of higher end coin auctions hosted by Heritage Auctions or Stacks and Bowers in person as opposed to just bidding online. Well, I had my eye on this one coin that was coming up in an auction that the auction house listed at having a value of only $5,000 to $7,000. Now, I looked at this particular coin, I looked at the market and what the market was doing at the time, and in my mind, I thought that this particular coin was priced extremely low, meaning a lot of auction companies, when they put out an auction catalog, or even online auction companies will sometimes do this, they'll have a preliminary estimate as to what that item is thought to be worth and what it will sell for on the market as a whole. Now, to be fair, Heritage Auctions used to do this. I don't think they do it anymore as a result of one of the scenarios I'm going to mention in this video, which is coming up in regards to this particular coin. But I do know some other auction companies do still put a low-end estimate and a high estimate on a lot of their items that they think that item will sell for at the end of the particular auction in question. Well, this particular auction company that I was attending this through listed this coin as having a set value of $5,000 to $7,000. So I was really interested in this coin and thought it was extremely undervalued. So I started researching the market, and the trend of what this coin was doing at the time was every time it would come up for bid at auction, it would sell for more money than the last sale. So I went back about 10 years, which would already take me to about, because this was 2012 at the time, guys, it would already take me back to 2002. And I started doing price research on this particular coin. And there was a time back in 2002 where you could have bought this particular coin for $500 or $700. Well, now 10 years goes by and the coin is worth $5,000 to $7,000, which in my mind still seemed very low due to the amount of pieces that were graded by third-party companies, the condition it was in, and how many collectors were clamoring to get this coin. Now, before I go any further, I cannot name the coin in question on this video, because if you go and Google it, the auction that I'm referring to is going to come up, and I want to protect certain people that I am referring to in this video, but I'm not mentioning their names. So I apologize about the secrecy on those two topics, guys, but I don't mean any harm to come to the people who bidded against me on this particular coin, because they did nothing wrong overall. It's just I don't want to alert their identities, because they, even at the time that this occurred, did not want too many people to know that they were the bidders on this particular item. So going back to my story, I attended the auction in person, and I immediately got nervous when I entered the room where it was going to be put up for bid, because there was a lot of high-end dealers, a lot of high-end collectors, and a lot of high-end investors that were looking not only at this coin, but other coins that were in this particular auction. So I knew I was going to have competition. Well, in my mind, me being egotistical and a little naive back then, I thought, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put in a high bid of $15,000, and I'm going to get this coin. There's no one here that's going to bid more than $15,000 on a coin that the auction company puts a low estimate of $5,000 on and a high estimate of $7,000 on. I mean, that would be ridiculous, right? You would have to literally pay more than double for what the auction house claims this coin is worth. No one's gonna do that. So the coin comes up for bid, and my first mistake already in this auction was I didn't look at any of the coins that were offered in this auction. So pretty much I went, paid all the expenses to attend this auction in person, and I, in my mind, was so set on this coin that it was almost like tunnel vision, where I thought, it's this coin or bust. I'm going to get it, I'm going to pay the price that needs to be paid, and that's going to be it. That's all I'm looking at. So that was a mistake on my end, because I should have looked at other offerings at the time, because I probably still could have got a cool coin for my collection or something to invest in that was going to be sold at a discount as opposed to a premium. Well, I start bidding on the coin, and immediately the opening bid takes the coin to $10,000. So I figure, oh my gosh, here we go. So I started bidding in increments of $1,000, $2,000, and immediately I hit my $15,000 cap. The coin is still being bidded up. Now, the end sale price of this coin, which includes the buyer's premium, was $21,500. So I knew the dealer that bought it. And again, that's one of the reasons why I'm not mentioning the coin and I'm not mentioning the dealer's name in this particular video. And I walked over to him and I said, hey, we've done business before. I'm Sean. How you been? I just wanted to talk a little bit about the coin that you just bought, if that's okay. And he looked at me and he said, sure, absolutely. What did you want to know? And I said, well, I did a lot of research on this coin and I was prepared to pay $15,000. You paid $21,500 for this coin. So I got to ask you, what am I missing? And he looked at me and he said, you know, Sean, you put up a good fight for this coin, but at the end of the day, you don't understand, and I need to teach you something. I spend 8 to 10 hours a day talking to people on the phone, nothing about coins and collections. So every day, I'm talking to collectors, investors, speculators, other dealers, museums, and other people that value nothing but coins. The one thing I'm going to tell you is I had in-depth knowledge where a lot of the other collectors that own a copy of that particular coin in question, they're not going to be selling theirs anytime soon because they recognize the scarcity and the rarity of this particular item that I don't even think the auction company recognized at the time. Now, here's something interesting, guys. 3 days from the end of that auction, I went on that dealer's website. That coin that he bought for $21,500 that only had an auction estimate on the high end of $7,000 was listed on his site for $57,000 and it sold. He literally flipped that $21,500 coin for $57,000 in less than 3 days. That's 72 hours if you want to break that down. Now, what's interesting is today in 2019, about a year ago, that same coin went across the auction block again and sold for $121,000. Let me say that again. That coin that could have been bought for $21,500 back in 2012 recently sold for $121,000 at auction in 2019. That is insane to me. That is an example of somebody having inside knowledge, insider trading, if that's what you want to call it, and using it to their advantage in the antiques and collectibles marketplace. Does it happen? Yes, it happens quite often. Now, to be fair, if you're going to attempt to use insider trading and insider knowledge in the antiques and collectibles marketplace, you're more better off using it towards rare and scarce items or items that are sold in sophisticated markets like art, coins, currency, first edition collectible books, historical documents, antiquities, and hardcore antiques. A lot of people are attempting to use inside information to their advantage, but they're applying it to everyday, mass-produced, pop culture-based collectibles. If you're going to use insider trading to your advantage, you have to go to the top of the market or enter sophisticated markets, such as what this example is trying to show. Now, if you're going to ask me, am I bitter towards the dealer that had that knowledge and outbidded me and took advantage of that particular market? No. It's just like I'm not bitter towards the person that was able to pay $57,000 for that coin and then sell it for more than double that price 10 years later. It's just the way the market moves. And by the way, guys, I just want to put this out there. This story shouldn't get you to want to invest or collect coins in any manner. This is a kind of a rarity even in the coin marketplace today. Most of your known quote-unquote rarities in coin collecting are already known. This was a coin that slipped under the radar. Like I've often said, right now, one of the hottest markets opening up in coin collecting is actually the market for Roman and Greek coins, meaning ancient coins. That's why NGC, the grading company, they actually have a division devoted to grading nothing but ancient coins. Now, to be fair, in this perspective, ancient coins are quite risky on the market today in regards to U.S. classic coins that were made in the last 100 or 200 years, because there's a lot of unknowns in that particular collecting market. You have to be very careful. But that's just one example of where insider trading is being used to the advantages of people that buy and sell in that market. If you did like this little story or personal history that I provided in this video, if it did at least open up your mind a little bit to what occurs in the overall antiques and collectibles marketplace, please consider subscribing to this channel. Again, I value your feedback. I value your comments. I thank you for watching, guys. Again, if you didn't like this particular topic or you don't want me to do more videos on this topic, let me know in the comments section. I just think we really need to talk about what occurs on the upper end of certain collecting markets and how opportunities are usually missed by the average collector, even if that collector does have a lot of knowledge and a lot of insight. Insider trading is the norm in the antiques and collectibles trade, and it should not be punished. It is not unethical. It is not illegal. It's just people taking advantage of the time, energy, and money that they have invested in those collecting categories or marketplaces that they understand. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.